Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Wavecast, the official podcast of the Marine Institute of Memorial University. If you're new to the podcast, you should know that we share the stories of students, alum, and instructors from the Marine Institute. In this episode, we'll be hearing from Eben March, chair of the Nautical Skills Committee, and two fourth-year nautical science students, Julia Young and Hayley North. We talk all about the Nautical Skills Competition. I hope you have fun listening.
Hi, I'm Captain Eben March. I work at Center Marine Simulation. I'm also the chair of the Nautical Skills Committee that puts together the Nautical Skills Competition. And the Nautical Skills Competition is done with the Master Mariners of Canada, who I am actually the National Master for the Master Mariners of Canada. Master Mariners of Canada does this competition in conjunction with the Marine Institute. The Marine Institute has been a part of it with the Master Mariners of Canada since it started approximately 13 years ago now, I think it was. So the Nautical Skills Competition goes on for Friday night. We start, and then it carries through all day Saturday. It's a very long weekend for the students and the leads of the exercises and the judges. There's going to be 9 exercise leads, and every exercise has approximately 3 judges. So the cadets are going to be exposed to somewhere in the vicinity of 35 master mariners throughout the day. As well, there's going to be company sponsors that are part of the competition. Those, some of them are actually there as judges as well. For example, Algoma will have 2 judges at the competition who are also part of the Master Mariners of Canada in Great Lakes Division. So they're going to be taking part in the competition here in Newfoundland. And every year it's growing. All along, it was only the nautical science cadets that did it. Now we are including the marine engineers to take part in the competition. And because the marine engineers are part of the competition, we have added 2 additional exercises. One is the propulsion plant simulator, and the other one is the engine workshop. It's going to be pretty exciting times.
So I am Julia Young. I'm a fourth-year nautical science student here at the Marine Institute, and I am an active and excited participant of the nautical science competition.
I'm Hayley North. I am also a fourth-year nautical science student, and me and Julia actually are on the same team for the skills comp this year. Really looking forward to it, and I'm really excited to be here to talk to you more about the competition. So both of you have participated in the Nautical Skills competition before? Yes. I did not participate in my first year, but I did do it second year, and last year I was on my long sea phase, so this is my second year doing it.
Same thing with me. I opted to not participate in my first year because it's terrifying as a first year. There's so much that you need to know going into it, but I do regret that a lot. I wish I had participated in first year, but I did in my second year, and I'm doing it this year, so second time around. Hope the second time's the charm.
Hope so. Basically, the way the program is laid out is that you do your first year in school. You have like a short sea phase, which lasts around 2 months in the summer. Come back for a second year, and then your third year is essentially just getting the rest of your sea time. So it's like a 10-month sea phase. And then you come back like we are now doing our fourth and final year.
Yeah, it's an interesting structure that's like different from the other schools that are around, but the first year and then the short sea phase kind of gets you a little bit of exposure to what you learned in first year. And then when you come back for your second year, they kind of go more in depth about the different aspects of the career. And because you had that short sea phase, it really makes life a lot easier in second year. And then, of course, third year, 10 months at sea. It's long and hard, but it is worth it. And then you come back for your fourth year and you go even more in depth into everything.
It's all coming together now.
Yeah. Now it all makes sense because we've seen a little bit of everything, done a little bit of everything hands-on. So it's a good way to have it laid out because it really helps you with the practical and the academic side of things.
How did you both get into the program?
My dad was a marine engineer, but it was never, I did not know that working offshore was an option. I didn't know that it was something that I could pursue. But once I found the program and I realized that it was exactly what I wanted to pursue. And I mean, growing up around here it's so interesting to see the industry that I've grown up around but have never been a part of. So I'm really glad I did it.
Most of my family are seafarers. My dad, my uncle, my aunt. I was also involved in sea cadets as a kid. So I had a lot of exposure to the industry itself. So I just kind of sat down one night and I was like, what do I want to do? Sure. Equal time home. Perfect. Fine. Awesome.
It's definitely the career play if you don't want the typical 9 to 5, which is something I was desperately trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And this way you get to travel, you get to meet people. There's a sense of like family almost on ships that like is hard to get in other industries. So that's something that I'm super grateful for. And another reason why I stuck through my year-long sea phase and 4-year program. It checks all the boxes for what I want in a career.
Yeah, me too. Like, I can't see myself doing a 9 to 5. I respect everybody who does a 9 to 5 because I could never.
Yeah, them and Dolly Parton, but I'm going to take the rotation work. I think like on paper, our main role is a navigator.
Yeah.
But that job itself has a lot of like subsections into like keeping the boat running.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go on.
Of course. Mr. Master Mariner, please.
Yes, you can jump in.
With all your experience.
You make it sound like, oh, I do a watch on the bridge. You're actually in charge of a full ship for a period of time during the day. You navigate it from point A to point B, where there's lots of traffic, navigation routes to follow, rules of the road at sea to follow. Then in port, you're in charge of something to do with cargo. Depending on the type of vessel that you're on, you could be doing work at sea at cargo. You could be doing work at port at cargo, and you're the person that's going to take the blame if something doesn't go right. You're also in charge of as a watchkeeping mate, you're usually in charge of all the safety gear on board. Depending on the size of the ship, you might have an assistant or another watchkeeping mate with you, but there's a lot of gear to keep up and keep maintenance on and do checks on. Besides the fact that oftentimes the watchkeeping mate or the second mate is called paper mate. So they're the one that seems to do a lot of the paperwork that's on board because of the ship's management system. The watchkeeping mate is a pretty busy job. When you're an officer on board a ship, you're in charge of a lot of things. And you're in charge of a lot of a very big asset for the company. So people look at, I think sometimes if you think about it, my first trip as a watchkeeping mate, for example, on a ship, I was on a 100,000-ton tanker operating around the North Sea area and the Irish Sea. At any one point in time, we were traveling the busiest sea routes in the world. And from 8 to 12 at night, I was there all alone, just me and a watchkeeper. So bridge watch as a lookout. So there's a bit of responsibility there. And I think Julia and Hayley maybe they're scared to go to sea now.
But I've always been scared.
But I think people need to understand that when you come out of school with your piece of paper as a COC, it's worth a lot more. What we do in the skills competition, we take them and we throw them in scenarios that really people who with a lot more experience would have.
So you like want to scare them, basically.
Literally,
Yes.
the point of the skills competition, I'm almost sure of this, is to fail at all of the skills.
Yeah.
Because I have learned more from totally running the boat aground. I've learned more than I have in any successful run. So I kind of think that might be the secret play here.
A lot of the skills competition is based on simulators. The students get to use the simulators that generally they wouldn't be using very much of. They get to do specific tasks. And just because you're on a container ship doesn't mean you're ever going to go on a tanker. Just because you're on a tanker doesn't mean you're ever going to go on a supply vessel and then a fishing vessel or a seismic vessel. They're all different trades within a trade or a profession. It's not a trade, it's a profession. So when you think about what they're going to do on February 7th and 8th, they're going to do ship handling. They're going to work on a DP vessel. They're going to work on an offshore supply logistics vessel doing anchor handling. They're going to drive an FRC virtually. They're going to do all the seamanship stuff, which is good old-fashioned, been around since the 1600s. All of them are specific exercises. So dynamic positioning is a system that is used on some vessels to keep a vessel in stationary. And as we know, if you have a boat and you put it in the water, it drifts. Dynamic positioning vessel is software that's on a computer that's attached to the ship's engines to make sure that it stays where it's supposed to stay. If you think about offshore logistics and anchor handling, look at a drilling rig and moor it in location and keep it there. Then you have ship handling, which is basically learning how to dock a ship. That's something that generally a captain does. And now second year, fourth year, nautical cadets do it. Search and rescue is using a fast rescue craft, people think of it as like a rib, or they see them in the Navy or Navy SEALs jumping out of them. They look really cool. Well, these people do it in fancy orange boats. They don't jump out of them, though. They pick people out of the water. They do rescues, that type of stuff. So a lot of times, too, if you're around yacht clubs in the summertime or different places, you just see the Canadian Coast Guard have them going around for pleasure crafts. And then seamanship is, well, if you don't know what knot to tie, you tie lots. but they're trying to learn. And so that's the competition. And then, of course, on Friday night, there's marine emergency duties. So anybody who works on board a ship, they go through a 3-week training program at a place like, for example, in Foxtrot. And there we take all our Master Mariner judges and we put them together to judge the teams on time and accuracy, on putting on a fire suit, putting a hose together and a hose end with the gloves and the fire suit, and then rolling up the fire hose afterwards, carrying a mannequin to simulate an injured person, put on an immersion suit, turn on an EPIRB while using the immersion suit, carry a life raft with life jackets on, all those types of things. We generally ask the executive from the Marine Institute to join us in that competition. So it's going to be interesting this year, to say the least, see how all that goes. And because we have the engineers involved, we could have a first year and a second year engineering person downstairs in this propulsion plant starting an engine the same as if they were the chief engineer. So that's not something that they do all the time. So we're really test them.
Mhm.
And it's not test to fail, but it doesn't always work
It's
out.
test to learn through
Right.
failure.
But I really enjoy watching the multiple scenarios that people do to accomplish one different thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
interesting to see how we all think differently. Because
Yeah.
even talking to some of the groups, like
Oh,
in the
yeah.
coming weeks, we have all planned for these things completely differently.
Right. But that's the thing about the competition, though, that I take away from it. It really helps team building. It helps leadership. It helps people work together. It's really good that the first years get to know the fourth years. Now this year is really good that the nautical science people get to meet the engineering people. That doesn't generally happen. Yeah, so there's lots of reasons why we do it. But like when this all started, it came up at multiple meetings for the Master Mariners of Canada Newfoundland Division. And we always talked up we needed a competition and we needed something to build all this morale together. And 13 years ago, it was only last night, somebody sent me a newsletter from the first competition. And if I look at how it's growing, it's come a long ways.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like a really interesting idea, and also kind of prepares you for having to work with new people on a ship.
And that's true. When you go on board a ship, you could join the ship and not know a soul.
Mhm.
And now you got to go work with them. And that's the reason why, as well, when we pick the teams, it's not like everybody gets together and picks their teams. Everybody applies, and there's a computer program that generates the teams so that every team ends up with at least a first year, a second year, a fourth year, this year an engineer or 2 engineers. And so everybody doesn't know everybody.
We just got lucky and
We
put
got
2 best
really-
friends together.
We are really lucky.
We have no part in it. Like, seriously, I can show you how it's done. We just hit a button and say generate teams.
And how many people per team is that, and how many teams coming together out of
There's
that?
8 teams.
There's 9 per
and
team this year, I think.
There's
For the most
9 per team. But in addition, this year is going to be really crowded on some of them because we're also bringing in high school students again this year.
Right.
So we're bringing in 8 nautical high school students and 8 engineering high school students. So these high school students, when I say nautical engineering, that's the program they've applied for to start in September.
So these are grade 12s going to graduate, have already applied to this program, want to see what it's like. It gets them in there a little bit more, familiarizes them with kind of the people that they're going to be seeing around. And I've talked to a couple of the first years this year who have done Skills Comp last year as a high school student.
Mhm.
And they said it was honestly one of the best things they've done, simply because they knew more when they came in rather than coming in on a complete clean slate. And these are also they did it in high school. Did they also compete first year? Do you know? When they were in their first year? Or is this, I guess, their first year?
Competing this year.
Okay.
So last year we had 10 high school students. All 10 of them came to the skills competition. And I believe 10 of them are competing this year.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wow.
That's so cool.
Were you guys high school students?
No, I did not know this existed in high school. It was also COVID when I
Yeah,
graduated.
me too.
so-
Right. Yeah. We didn't do the competition. That was a couple of years we missed during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why.
Do you think that you would have done it in high school if you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We always bring in a high school student from outside province too. This year, there's one coming from Ontario, a little place up in central Canada. So,
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
yeah. So, and also the high school students, when they come to participate at the gala dinner when all the prizes are given out, we always give out bursaries for they go to school for the high school students. So this year, there's 4 bursaries, 1 in 16 chance, I guess, to win. And that $1,000 bursary is from the Master Mariners of Canada. So there's 3 from the Master Mariners of Canada this year, and 1 from the Canadian Marine Engineers Group.
So you mentioned that there are judges that are Master Mariners and they watch the competition, and they're there for the students to interact with, or
They're there for the judge, the competition. when the students finish their competition, the judges go out afterwards and give them a little debrief to tell them how wonderful they did and all the rest of
not
it.
wonderful.
Or not wonderful. And try to hide their laughter. No, they don't laugh.
They never hide it. That's
Never
the thing.
hide. Like, what did you do?
But like the Master Mariners Canada come up and they volunteer their time and they put all of it together, right? Even from here at the school, like I work here at the school, but I'm also a member of the Master Mariners Canada, obviously. But like we volunteer our time afterwards to give up extra sessions. Like Saturday, I'm going to spend my Saturday afternoon giving extra sessions of training for the different teams.
But I wanted to ask, you as students, do you find like the interaction with the Master Mariners like useful, helpful? Yeah, absolutely. It's a little intimidating at first because, like, you know, my second year doing it, I haven't been to sea. Then all of a sudden I'm surrounded by like 35 Master Mariners and everybody's judging me on how well I do in this competition. But like once the Gatlin stuff came around, it was pretty cool because I got to talk to a bunch of different people from different companies, tried to get my foot in the door with a couple.
Yeah, that's the thing with like the Master Mariners coming is like they're a good group of people because they're people who have worked in industry. And as big and global as this industry is, it's very small in its employees and in the people who run it. So like everybody knows everybody. These are people who you might see in the future. These could be your bosses. They could be like your future connections to a job. It's an opportunity to network, but to also just build relationships within the industry and ask questions. Every Master Mariner I talk to, I ask them, where have you worked? How did you like it? Like it's a way to put feelers out for your future by hearing and listening to the stories that they have to tell. It is a good opportunity to network for jobs and collect business cards.
And this year for the engineers too, they're going to do the same thing, right? So this year for the marine engineers that are taking part, we have Canadian Marine Engineers Group in Newfoundland. They're supplying the judges, so they're all chief engineers. So it's going to be similar type thing again. And it's just going to happen at the same time.
You both mentioned that you've been planning by scenario, and then he helps, like Eben mentioned that he does extra assistance on that. How much do you plan for this? Because I didn't even realize that. Like, I thought you just like showed up.
We applied for this in November, found out our teams in December, and we have been basically planning since then. We have our first meeting where we get like a rundown of what's going on, but they keep their secrets and they'll just tell you you're doing something to do with anchors, but they won't mention that 15,000 things are going to go wrong when you're in the simulator and you have to figure out what to do.
Right.
So you can plan, yeah, but
then it goes out the window.
But as soon as you get in there, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like real life, like going to sea. Like you're planning this course, then the wind comes up, so you have to alter course. So they'll come in, like say tomorrow, like some teams, I try to give every team an extra session of learning. So they'll come in tomorrow and I'll just give them the general overview of how the simulator works, how the equipment works, and then they just come in and use it. And it's amazing to see how well, actually over the years, we're always amazed at how well the students do, because you think about it, you've only probably had like an hour or 2 hours of an orientation session, and then you show up, you have this going on, this going on, this going on, now sort it out and make it happen, like dock the vessel.
The thing to keep in mind here is that normally a captain would be handling these situations with all of those years of experience to rely on.
Right.
So the best and worst part of this competition is that we really don't have any experience.
But you have lots by the end. So one award that we always give out is the Leadership Award, and it's sponsored by the Fry Family Foundation. So we always give it an award for that. So at every competition, we always pick out one student, or like exercise judges always pick up one student that seems to be the leading, seems to be the brains behind the whole situation, what's going on there. Like when we talk about the Leadership Award, that's not judged by one particular competition. That's like the 9 competitions throughout the day and Friday night. And then that person is going to get the winning number type thing, right?
Right.
So it should be interesting this year, because technically like an engineer could win this year because the engineers are involved in every competition as well. And if they're the one leading type thing, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all works out. The other part of the competition was the safety part. And there's always a safety meeting or a safety moment, like right before each exercise. So if they come to say, for example, into seamanship, then they do like a 2-minute safe briefing, the same as you would on board the ship. Some people get a little creative with it and play instrument, write songs, write poems, sing a ballad, all kinds of stuff we've seen over the years, do skits. So it's going to be really entertaining.
You're going to like what we have.
For everybody.
For everybody.
Oh yeah, we have a crazy safety moment done up. Like it's going to be awesome.
And for which exercise is this?
We can't tell you that.
But you can tell me which exercise.
No.
We are not at liberty to
We're not
say.
able to say that. I wish I could watch this, honestly.
You can. It's open to the public.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Come in and roam around.
I would love to.
Yeah, you should.
Honestly, I feel like every time I like have a new program or like talk to a new program on this podcast, I'm like, you know what? I actually would like to do that program. Like, it sounds interesting.
I think we just need to recognize that the competition goes off with a lot of work from a lot of volunteers, and the volunteers from the Marine Institute, volunteers from Master Mariners of Canada, a lot of companies supply funding because we do a gala dinner. We give away a lot of money. So the first prize this year is going to be $1,000 for every student. Second prize, $750. Third prize, $500. Then on top of that, we give away a ship handling award. And every student gets, can't remember how much it is. I think it works like $300 each or something. Then there's the leadership award from the Fry Family Foundation that one student will walk away with a prize money of $1,000. So we give away a lot of money at the gala dinner that evening. Besides all the swag that goes along with it, all the companies that supply like the safety award, spirit award, honorable mention award. That's all extra awards, and they're going to walk away with swag of varying types. I know one year the company gave a $100 Amazon gift card and a set of earpods in their swag bag.
Yeah, I got like a really like nice pair of JBL like headphones.
Yeah,
like my second year.
That's right. So
very awesome.
Companies give away some of the nicest swags.
Yeah.
Like any nautical science student or anybody even considering the program, like it's a fantastic opportunity. I know I regret not doing it my first year. You meet people, you learn a lot. I'd recommend it to anybody. And you win $1,000. Maybe.
Or more than that.
Or nothing.
Or experience.
humiliation.
Or nothing. Yeah. Experience.
Experience. Yeah.
Experience, for sure. The program itself is really fun too. Like if you're even just thinking about it, like give it a try, give it a shot, because that's what I did, and I'm graduating in June. So
yeah, woo-hoo. We made it. The people you meet and the things that you experience are off the walls.
I look forward to watching this competition, hopefully. Good luck in it to all of you.
Thank you.
He doesn't need luck. We need luck.
We need the luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Competing. Have fun watching.
Yeah.
Let's go Team 6, the Red Hot Chili Skippers.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting that they're including the marine engineering students in the skills competition this year. And I really wonder how the organizers are going to incorporate new problems for these participants to solve. As a reminder, if you think the competition sounds as entertaining as I do, you can check it out on February 7th or 8th. As always, if you have any questions for anyone that was featured on today's episode, or if you have suggestions for future episodes, send us an email at wavecast@mi.mun.ca. Don't forget to rate and review the episode if you liked it. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.